Have you ever thought you were doing everything right, eating more greens, drinking your smoothies, cutting out junk food, only to wake up one morning with swollen feet, fatigue that won't fade, or a strange ache in your back that no doctor can explain? What if I told you those little warning signs might not be aging, but your kidneys quietly waving a red flag before they collapse? See, your kidneys are the most loyal organs you have. They filter your blood every single minute, clearing away the waste that would otherwise poison you. But here's the terrifying part. Unlike your heart that pounds when it's under stress, or your lungs that gasp when they're weak, your kidneys almost never complain. They keep working in silence until the day they suddenly can't. And by the time you feel something is wrong, you could have already lost up to 90% of your kidney function, 90% gone without pain, without a sound. That's why more than 30 million Americans are living with kidney damage right now and don't even know it. The foods they trust, the vegetables they eat every day might actually be pushing their kidneys closer to failure. But here's the part no one tells you. The danger isn't hiding in fast food or soda cans. It's sitting right there on your healthy plate. I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and in this video, I'm going to reveal the shocking truth about the vegetables that silently sabotage your kidneys, and the simple swaps that can help you heal them instead. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly which foods to keep, which to limit, and how to build meals that protect your kidneys for the rest of your life. So before you reach for that next salad or green smoothie, stay with me, because what you're about to learn might just save your kidneys and your future. Let's start with something that sits on nearly every kitchen shelf: tomatoes. Bright, tangy, and bursting with that fresh, healthy glow. Everyone calls them heart-friendly, antioxidant-rich, a salad superstar. And yes, a fresh slice or two is perfectly safe. But here's where the story turns. It's not the tomato itself that puts your kidneys at risk. It's what we humans turn it into. When you take a naturally harmless fruit and concentrate it into paste, ketchup, or sauce, you're not just intensifying flavor, you're intensifying minerals too. And potassium, when it piles up, is like silent pressure building inside your bloodstream. Your kidneys are designed to filter it out every single minute, but when the load becomes too heavy, they start to drown in their own effort. That's when trouble begins. Take Robert, one of my patients, 59, retired, proud of his healthy habits. Every Sunday, he'd make his own clean pasta sauce, just tomatoes, olive oil, and herbs. No preservatives, no sugar. He believed it was the perfect substitute for store-bought sauces. But what he didn't realize was that every spoonful of his homemade sauce contained almost 1,500 milligrams of potassium, nearly 3 times what his kidneys could comfortably process in one meal. Within weeks, he began feeling dizzy, exhausted, and short of breath. His EKG later revealed irregular heart rhythms, a silent alarm for dangerously high potassium levels, known medically as hyperkalemia. Here's the science behind it. Your heart runs on electricity, tiny currents that rely on the right balance of potassium in your blood. When potassium spikes, it scrambles those signals, throwing your heartbeat into chaos. Fatigue, weakness, skipped beats, and in the worst cases, cardiac arrest without warning. That's why doctors call hyperkalemia the quiet arrhythmia. You never hear it coming until it's almost too late. But here's the good news: Robert didn't have to give up tomatoes entirely. He simply learned to respect their concentration. We swapped his thick tomato paste for diced fresh tomatoes, limited his portions to 2 tablespoons of sauce, and added basil, parsley, and garlic for extra flavor, without extra potassium. Within weeks, his blood work improved, his heartbeat stabilized, and he told me something I'll never forget. "Doctor, I didn't change my diet, I just changed my awareness. So if you love pasta, don't panic. Keep the flavor, not the overload. Use fresh ingredients, watch your portions, and treat concentrated foods like medicine, powerful in small doses, harmful in excess. Because sometimes the danger isn't in what you eat, but in how much of it you concentrate into your body. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next vegetable on our list hides in nearly every comfort meal, and its danger runs even deeper. Wait until you hear this. It's the one most people eat weekly without realizing how quickly it can push their kidneys to the edge. If tomato sauce is the silent overload, then potatoes are the comforting trap. They look innocent, golden, warm, and familiar. Mashed, baked, roasted, or fried, they're the heart of family dinners and Sunday traditions. But what most people don't realize is that this comfort food can quietly stress your kidneys more than you think. One single medium potato can contain up to 1,000 milligrams of potassium, the same as an entire day's allowance for someone with even mild kidney decline. Sweet potatoes. They're no better. A single cup of mashed sweet potato can reach 1,200 milligrams. And the danger doesn't come overnight. It builds up meal after meal like a dam filling slowly with water until one day it breaks. That's exactly what happened to Linda, a 64-year-old grandmother who thought she was eating clean. She cut out sugar, avoided junk food, and filled her plate with healthy sides. But one Thanksgiving, she served mashed potatoes, roasted red potatoes, and sweet potato casserole all in the same meal. Within hours, she felt weak, her heart raced, and she ended up in the ER. The diagnosis, acute hyperkalemia, dangerously high potassium levels that nearly stopped her heart. She was lucky. Most people never get that warning twice. Here's what the science tells us. Your kidneys are responsible for keeping potassium levels between 3.5 and 5.0 millimoles per liter, a razor-thin margin. When your filtration rate drops, potassium stays in your blood longer. The excess starts interfering with the heart's electrical rhythm, creating irregular beats, dizziness, and muscle fatigue. It's like static overtaking a radio signal. At first it's just noise, and then the music stops completely. But that doesn't mean you have to give up potatoes forever. There's a technique that can make them safer. It's called leaching. Peel and cut the potatoes into small cubes, soak them in water for a few hours, then boil them in fresh water instead of baking or frying. This simple process can remove up to 70% of the potassium. Pair that with small portions, about 1/4 of a cup, and you can still enjoy your favorite comfort dish without the hidden danger. Linda learned that the hard way. Now she still enjoys her mashed potatoes, just smaller, leached, and balanced with low potassium veggies like cauliflower. Her blood work is steady, her energy is back, and she often says, "Doctor, I didn't give up my favorite food. I just gave my kidneys a break." So yes, potatoes can still be part of your life, but only if you learn to respect their power. Because in kidney health, even the most innocent foods can become silent saboteurs when eaten without awareness. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next food on our list hides under a superfood label praised by fitness gurus everywhere. Yet it can quietly injure your kidneys from the inside out. And what makes it so dangerous is that it's marketed as one of the healthiest drinks on earth. If potatoes are the comfort food that quietly overloads your kidneys, then beets are the health food that deceives even the smartest eaters. You see them in every detox smoothie, every pre-workout drink, every Instagram wellness post, glossy, vibrant, promising better blood flow and boundless energy. But here's the catch. What's good for your heart isn't always good for your kidneys. Beets are loaded with potassium and oxalates, two compounds that in excess can quietly sabotage your kidneys. A single glass of beet juice can contain between 450 and 600 milligrams of potassium, and when you blend or powder them, that number skyrockets. In a healthy body, the kidneys can handle it. But if your filtration system is already strained from blood pressure, diabetes, or early kidney disease, that extra load becomes like throwing fuel on a smoldering fire. That's exactly what happened to David, a 48-year-old fitness enthusiast who thought beet juice was his secret weapon. He'd read online that it boosts nitric oxide and endurance, so he began drinking a tall glass every morning before his workouts. For 3 weeks, he felt unstoppable, faster recovery, higher stamina, more energy. Then the signs started: dull back pain, fatigue, cloudy urine. By the time he came to my clinic, his blood work showed severe kidney inflammation. A CT scan revealed tiny oxalate crystals clogging his kidneys. The diagnosis: acute oxalate nephropathy, kidney injury, triggered by excessive beet intake. Here's the science: oxalates are natural compounds that bind with calcium inside your body. When their levels rise too high, they form razor-sharp crystals that scrape the kidney's delicate filters, leading to inflammation and, in severe cases, full blockage. And juicing or powdering beets multiplies the oxalate concentration several times higher than your body can handle. Cooking helps only. A little concentration is the real enemy. So how do you enjoy beets safely? Moderation in pairing. Eat them occasionally in small amounts, never daily, and always combine them with calcium-rich foods like yogurt or cheese. Calcium binds oxalates in the gut, so they leave your body before reaching the kidneys. But avoid beet powders, concentrated juices, or so-called detox shots. They aren't cleansing you, they're overloading you. Next time you see that glowing red smoothie claiming to flush toxins, remember David's story. Sometimes the brightest colors hide the deepest dangers. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because the next food isn't just risky, it can strike your kidneys almost overnight. And the scariest part, it looks like dessert. If beets can injure your kidneys slowly, rhubarb can strike like lightning. It looks harmless, those glossy red stalks, that sweet tart flavor baked into pies and jams, the kind of dessert that brings back childhood memories. But underneath that bright color hides one of the most dangerous plants you could ever eat if your kidneys are even slightly weak. Rhubarb is nature's perfect disguise. Just 1 cup of diced stalks can contain over 1,000 milligrams of oxalates. That's more than 20 times what a sensitive kidney can safely handle in a single day. When those oxalates enter your bloodstream, they don't just pass through. They attach to calcium, forming microscopic needles that scratch and clog your kidneys' delicate filters. You won't feel it immediately, but within hours, your kidneys can begin to shut down like a clogged drain. That's exactly what happened to Sarah, a 56-year-old school teacher who loved baking. One spring weekend, she attended 3 family gatherings in a row, each one featuring her famous rhubarb crisp. By Monday morning, she woke up nauseous, in pain, and unable to urinate properly. At the hospital, her blood work showed a terrifying drop in kidney function. The scans revealed what looked like sand packed inside her nephrons' oxalate crystals, blocking the filtration system. The diagnosis: acute oxalate nephropathy. Her kidneys were failing from the inside out. Here's why it happens so fast. When oxalates flood your bloodstream, your kidneys race to excrete them. But once the concentration exceeds what your body can process, those crystals multiply, fuse, and slice through renal tissue. Cooking or baking doesn't destroy oxalates. In fact, it can make them more concentrated per bite as water evaporates. And unlike potassium, which damages slowly, oxalate overload hits like a sudden power surge, overwhelming your system in hours, not weeks. If you love that tart flavor, there's no need to gamble your health. Choose safer substitutes like cranberries, blueberries, or apples. They deliver that same refreshing acidity without the oxalate overload. But for anyone with chronic kidney disease, high creatinine, or a history of kidney stones, rhubarb isn't just risky, it's a red flag waving danger. So the next time you see a slice of rhubarb pie glowing on a bakery shelf, remember Sarah's story. A dessert that looks harmless could send your kidneys into crisis overnight. But knowing this still isn't enough, because the next vegetable doesn't just attack from one side, it hits your kidneys from both at once. It's green, it's praised as a superfood, and it's probably sitting in your fridge right now. If rhubarb is a single bullet to your kidneys, Swiss chard is a double shot. It's the leafy green that wears a halo, vibrant, colorful, praised in plant-based diets as one of the healthiest foods on earth. It shows up in smoothie bowls, vegan blogs, and clean eating recipes with captions like "pure fuel for your body." But for anyone with even slightly weakened kidneys, that fuel can become fire. Swiss chard carries a dangerous 1-2 punch. It's loaded with both potassium and oxalates at the same time. 1 cup of cooked Swiss chard can contain nearly 1,000 milligrams of potassium, roughly the same as a baked potato, plus over 120 milligrams of oxalates. For healthy kidneys, that's manageable. But for kidneys under stress, it's like asking a marathon runner with a sprained ankle to sprint uphill while carrying a backpack. The system simply can't keep up. That's exactly what happened to Michael, a 62-year-old retiree who switched to a plant-based lifestyle after his doctor warned him about cholesterol. He filled his fridge with greens, sautéing Swiss chard almost every day with olive oil and garlic. At first, he felt lighter, proud of his new routine. But 2 months later, his blood tests showed dangerously high potassium, and an ultrasound revealed his first kidney stone. The vegetable he thought was saving him was actually overloading him from both directions. Potassium spiking his blood levels, oxalates crystallizing inside his kidneys. The science is simple but sobering. Potassium overload causes hyperkalemia, which disrupts the heart's electrical rhythm, leading to fatigue, muscle weakness, and potentially cardiac arrest. Meanwhile, oxalates combine with calcium to form microscopic crystals that can block urine flow and scar renal tissue. When both are high at once, your kidneys are fighting a war on two fronts, maintaining electrolyte balance and filtering out crystal-forming compounds. There are safer ways to enjoy your greens. Boiling Swiss chard can remove some of its soluble oxalates, but potassium mostly stays intact. Juicing it. That's even worse, it concentrates both threats into a single glass. The smarter move is rotation swap Swiss chard for lower-risk greens like cabbage, kale, or lettuce. They offer the same nutrients with a fraction of the stress on your kidneys. Once Michael made that simple switch, his potassium normalized, his stone wrist dropped, and his doctor told him something powerful. The right greens heal, the wrong ones hurt. So remember, even superfoods can turn toxic when your kidneys are struggling. The truth is, the greener it looks, the more careful you have to be. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because the next vegetable takes the danger to a whole new level. It's the one that millions drink every morning, believing it's the healthiest choice on earth, when in reality it might be the most deceptive of them all. If Swiss chard is the double hit that drains your kidneys from both sides, spinach is the silent assassin that does it slowly, day after day, without you ever noticing. It's everywhere: smoothies, salads, soups, even baby food. Marketed as a super green, spinach has been crowned the king of health foods. But when it comes to kidney safety, that crown comes with a hidden curse. Spinach contains one of the highest oxalate levels in the entire plant kingdom. Just 100 grams of raw spinach can carry around 170 milligrams of oxalates, and most people eat 2, 3, even 4 times that amount when they blend it into a smoothie. Imagine flooding your system with over 2,000 milligrams of oxalates in one drink every morning, believing you're cleansing your body when in reality you're clogging the very organs meant to cleanse you. That's exactly what happened to Jennifer, a 34-year-old yoga instructor. She lived the clean lifestyle, organic, everything, no sugar, no junk. For 6 weeks, she drank a spinach smoothie every morning. At first, she felt amazing glowing skin, more energy, mental clarity. But then came the fatigue, the nausea, and that dull ache in her lower back. By the time she came to me, her kidney function had plummeted. Imaging showed her kidneys filled with oxalate crystals, like tiny shards of glass scratching every filter. The diagnosis: acute oxalate nephropathy. She was just days away from needing dialysis. Here's what the science reveals. When oxalates meet calcium inside your body, they form sharp, needle-like crystals that lodge in your kidneys, causing inflammation and blockage. Over time, these micro-injuries accumulate, leading to kidney stones, scarring, and eventually chronic kidney disease. Cooking spinach reduces some oxalates, but not nearly enough to make it safe in large amounts. The danger multiplies when it's juiced or blended because concentration skyrockets, while fiber, the natural buffer, is stripped away. So what's the solution? Variety and moderation. Rotate your greens, use kale, cabbage, or lettuce instead of relying on spinach daily. If you love smoothies, mix in cucumber, zucchini, or parsley to give your kidneys a break. Jennifer learned that lesson the hard way. Once she removed spinach from her daily routine, her energy returned, her labs normalized, and her doctor told her something powerful. Your kidneys don't need cleansing, they need relief. And that's the truth. Health isn't about extremes, it's about balance. Spinach might look like a hero, but for kidneys under pressure, it can quietly turn into the villain. But just avoiding danger isn't the goal, because coming up next are the vegetables that actually protect, heal, and strengthen your kidneys from the inside out. And the first one might surprise you. It's plain pale and often overlooked, yet it could be your kidney's greatest ally. After hearing about so many healthy vegetables that quietly harm your kidneys, it's easy to feel discouraged, like everything you eat could be the enemy. But here's the good news. Not all vegetables are villains. Some are quiet healers designed by nature to soothe, protect, and even help your kidneys recover. And one of the most powerful examples is also one of the simplest: cauliflower. It doesn't look glamorous. It's not bright green or photogenic like kale or beets. But beneath that plain white surface lies one of the most kidney-friendly foods you can put on your plate. Cauliflower is naturally low in potassium, phosphorus, sodium, and oxalates exactly the combination your kidneys need to rest and rebalance. Just 1 cup of cooked cauliflower contains around 88 milligrams of potassium and only 20 milligrams of phosphorus, a microscopic amount compared to the 1,000+ hiding in potatoes or spinach. That's why nephrologists often call cauliflower a foundation food for kidney protection. It provides fiber, antioxidants, and hydration without putting any strain on your filtration system. Think of it like a soft pillow for your kidneys, nourishing, light, and supportive, instead of heavy and demanding. One of my patients, Margaret, a 67-year-old woman who came to me with rising creatinine levels and chronic swelling, learned this firsthand. We didn't put her on a restrictive diet. We simply replaced her nightly mashed potatoes with creamy cauliflower mash, seasoned with garlic and olive oil. Within 6 weeks, her potassium stabilized, her swelling disappeared, and her creatinine began to drop. She told me something that still gives me goosebumps, doctor. For the first time in years, I wake up feeling light, not heavy. And there's powerful science behind her story. Cauliflower belongs to the cruciferous vegetable family known for natural compounds like sulforaphane and glucosinolates, substances that reduce inflammation, boost detoxification enzymes in the liver, and protect kidney cells from oxidative stress. In simple terms, cauliflower doesn't just avoid harm, it helps your kidneys fight back against damage. The best part, it's endlessly versatile. You can roast it for crunch, mash it for comfort, or even rice it for a low-carb base. Every serving gives your kidneys a small vacation while still keeping your meal satisfying. So if you've been afraid that eating healthy means giving up flavor, remember Margaret's story. Healing doesn't come from restriction, it comes from smarter swaps. But just knowing this isn't enough, because the next vegetable isn't pale or plain, it's bright red, full of life, and brings a new layer of protection that goes beyond your kidneys to your heart and blood vessels. Stay with me, because this one proves that real healing can be colorful, flavorful, and delicious. After the calm strength of cauliflower, let's bring some color back to your plate. One vegetable stands out for both its beauty and its power, the red bell pepper. Crisp, sweet, and vibrant, it's more than just a garnish or stir-fry filler. It's one of nature's most powerful shields for your kidneys and your heart. Most people see peppers as a simple way to add flavor or crunch, but their real magic lies in balance. Red bell peppers are remarkably low in potassium, phosphorus, and sodium, which means your kidneys don't have to overwork to filter them. Yet they deliver a surge of antioxidants, vitamin C, beta-carotene, lycopene, and flavonoids, the exact nutrients that neutralize the inflammation and oxidative stress silently eroding kidney cells every day. Just 1 cup of chopped red pepper offers over 150% of your daily vitamin C with only 250 milligrams of potassium. That's a nutritional jackpot, protection without pressure. Let me tell you about George, one of my longtime patients. At 61, he was living with stage 3 kidney disease and stubborn high blood pressure. For years, he believed tomato sauce was a healthy choice. But when we swapped that out for diced and roasted red bell peppers in soups, omelets, even blended into pasta sauce, his labs started improving. Within weeks, his potassium stabilized. His blood pressure dropped by 10 points, and he smiled at me and said, "Doctor, I finally feel lighter after eating. Here's why that change worked. The same antioxidants that give red peppers their bright hue also protect the tiny blood vessels that feed your kidneys. They reduce oxidative stress, improve circulation, and ease the strain on your filtration system." That's critical, because kidney disease and heart disease often travel together. When one suffers, the other soon follows. Red peppers build a bridge between the two, keeping your heart calm and your kidneys steady. And let's not forget the flavor factor. You can enjoy them raw for crunch, roasted for sweetness, or stuffed for a full meal. Every time you choose red peppers instead of a salty sauce or canned product, you're sending your body a simple message: I'm protecting you. So when you crave color, skip the ketchup and skip the concentrate, reach for the real thing. Red bell peppers don't just make your meals look alive, they help you stay alive. But knowing this isn't enough, because the next ingredient doesn't just brighten flavor, it actively lowers blood pressure, fights inflammation, and helps your kidneys breathe easier from the inside out. Stay tuned, because the next food has been a healer for thousands of years, and modern science now proves why it works. After exploring the colorful power of red bell peppers, let's turn to something smaller, humbler, but infinitely more potent: garlic. For thousands of years, people have used it as both food and medicine, long before science could explain its chemistry. Ancient healers believed garlic could purify the blood, and today modern research proves they were right. It's one of the most powerful natural protectors your kidneys could ever have. Here's why. When you crush or chop a clove of garlic, it releases allicin, a sulfur-based compound that acts as a triple shield anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and mild blood thinner, three benefits that directly target the biggest threats to your kidneys. Think of it as your body's built-in defense system. When your kidneys are under pressure, your blood vessels tighten, inflammation rises, and oxidative stress damages the delicate filtration cells. Garlic helps on every front. It relaxes those vessels, lowers blood pressure, and neutralizes the free radicals that silently scar your kidneys. Patricia, one of my patients, is a perfect example. At 60, she had stage 3 kidney disease and blood pressure that barely responded to medication. I suggested she try adding 2 crushed cloves of fresh garlic into her meals every day, letting them sit for 10 minutes before cooking to activate the allicin. 3 months later, her blood pressure dropped from 150/95 to 135/85. Her inflammation markers improved, and she told me, "Doctor, I didn't change my medicine. I changed my seasoning." That's the beauty of garlic. It brings healing disguised as flavor. Studies published in the Journal of Hypertension and the American Journal of Nephrology confirm that regular garlic intake can reduce systolic blood pressure by 8 to 15 points and lower oxidative stress in people with chronic kidney disease. Every clove helps reduce the workload on your nephrons, the tiny filters that keep your blood clean. And there's another bonus: garlic gives you the rich, savory flavor you crave without the sodium that strains your kidneys. You can add it to soups, stir-fries, sauces, or even salad dressings. Every time you crush a clove, you're not just seasoning your food, you're seasoning your health. So the next time you reach for the salt shaker, grab a garlic clove instead. Let it breathe for a moment and let your kidneys breathe easier too. But only knowing this isn't enough, because the next vegetable doesn't just help, it teaches your body how to protect itself from future damage. And it might just be the cheapest superfood sitting quietly in your kitchen right now. After garlic's ancient healing power, it's time to meet a quiet underdog that works on a level most foods simply can't: cabbage. At first glance, it's pale, inexpensive, and easy to overlook. But this humble cruciferous vegetable is one of the safest and most powerful allies your kidneys could ever have. Unlike other greens that sometimes harm kidneys, cabbage doesn't just provide nutrition, it actively trains your kidneys to protect themselves. Cabbage is naturally low in potassium, phosphorus, sodium, and oxalates, giving your kidneys a chance to rest while still nourishing your body. But its real strength lies in its chemistry. Packed with sulforaphane, a compound that activates the body's internal NRF2 pathway, cabbage tells your cells to produce their own antioxidants and detoxifying enzymes. Essentially, it strengthens your body's defense system from within, repairing damage and neutralizing toxins before they can harm your kidneys. George, one of my long-term patients battling chronic inflammation and early kidney decline, experienced this firsthand. We didn't overhaul his diet overnight. We simply added small portions of steamed cabbage to his soups, stir-fries, and meals 3 times a week. Within months, his inflammation markers dropped, his energy improved, and his eGFR, a key measure of kidney function, inched upward. He said to me, "Doctor, I didn't expect a vegetable this cheap to make me feel this good." Modern research backs this up. Studies published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology show that sulforaphane-rich foods like cabbage can reduce oxidative stress and even slow kidney function decline in people with mild to moderate chronic kidney disease. The high-fiber content also helps the gut eliminate waste more efficiently, taking pressure off the kidneys and supporting the body's natural detox process. You can eat cabbage raw in a crisp slaw, lightly steamed with herbs, or sautéed with garlic and olive oil. Whichever way you prefer, your kidneys will thank you. So if you've been overwhelmed by what to eat and what to avoid, remember this: sometimes the simplest foods carry the strongest protection. But even knowing this isn't enough, because there's one massive myth we still need to break: the idea that your kidneys need external detoxes to stay healthy. And what I'm about to reveal next will change the way you think about cleansing and kidney care forever. Now that you've seen how some everyday vegetables can silently harm your kidneys and how others can protect and even heal them, remember this: small, consistent choices matter more than perfection. Every swap you make, replacing tomato sauce with fresh red peppers, mashed potatoes with creamy cauliflower, or adding garlic and cabbage to your meals, sends a powerful message to your body that you are listening and that you care for your kidneys. I want you to take action today. Save this video so you can revisit these tips whenever you plan your meals, and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell turned on, because each week I share the latest medical insights, practical food tips, and proven strategies to protect your kidney health, backed by real science and real patient stories. Your next breakthrough could be just one video away. And here's my hope for you. Treat your kidneys kindly, honor them with mindful choices, and they will keep you strong, energized, and thriving for years to come. Remember, your kidneys may be silent, but they're always listening. And when you give them the care they deserve, your body rewards you with life, vitality, and peace of mind. Thank you for watching, thank you for caring, and I'll see you in the next video, where we uncover the morning habits that can either save your kidneys or silently sabotage them.